Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Woke Witch Tarot. I have a special video for you today. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will know that today marks the beginning of what I am calling Future Spouse Week on this particular channel. I will be having one video every single day of the week about your future spouse. And I thought, what better way to start Future Spouse Week than by a message from your future lover? Now, I've done this a little bit differently. I certainly plan on channeling the voice of your future spouse. I took some time before the reading to meditate on the energies that I felt for these particular piles. And I also took a moment to write out three individualized letters that I felt the energy of your future spouse was trying to communicate to you. Now, this is a little bit different than some of the future spouse readings that I've seen, in that this is one of a three-part series on letters from your future spouse. The others I will put on the channel at another time, perhaps not this week, because we have so much stuff already to cover this week, but perhaps in the future, if you enjoy this particular type of video and you'd like to see the others, let me know and I will make that happen. In this particular reading, we are focusing on what I call the journey, where your future spouse is right now in their life, what it is that they think about their future spouse, which is you, and their thoughts as they work their way to you before they begin courting you for union. I will have, obviously, as you're seeing right now, one for the journey. I will also be making a separate future spouse video that is specific about your courtship and your marriage to help you assess the tone there. And then I will have a final letter from your future spouse video in regards to your happily ever after, their thoughts from marriage to the end. Okay, so three-part series. In this particular video, we are focusing on the journey, what this person thinks about you, even though they think about you and yet still perhaps do not even know you. What they feel in their soul, that connection of your divine partner. I have made this particular reading into three separate piles. We have pile number one here, this beautiful pink, almost Fabergé looking suede card. Pile number two is this golden and purple card here with all this beautiful glitter on it. And then we have pile number three, which is very reminiscent to this card here. This one doesn't have as much sparkle, but there's something about the suede here in this particular card that feels a little bit deeper if you're looking for any of those little differences between the pink cards. I'd like for you to take a moment, to take a deep breath, and to ask the universe what message it is that your future spouse has for you on their journey to you. And when you're ready, pick pile one, two, or three, and then either head over to the timestamps that I have listed here or to the timestamps that I have placed in the pinned comment down below. As always, these readings are general readings, so they're not going to resonate with everybody. I always remind people that my readings are gender neutral. We all have masculine and feminine energies, and I welcome any and everyone to this channel, regardless of your gender or your sexual preference. All are welcome here. If you would like a more detailed reading, you can always reach out to me for a personal reading on my website in the description down below or at my social media, which is listed up above. With all of that said, I will see you at pile 1, 2, or 3. Alrighty, if you picked pile number one, or rather letter number one, then this is the reading for you on what it is that your future spouse would like to say to you in this moment as they work on their journey towards you and you towards them. I'd like to start with our letter and go ahead and read that out loud to you. And then we will jump into the envelope for the cards, the oracle and the tarot cards that I managed to pull together for this particular spread. I wanted to let you know off the bat that I haven't looked at this pile, and the way that I'd like to channel this is very much from their perspective. So when I do these particular types of readings that I'm really experimenting with in regards to voice and tone, I ask that you be patient with me because this is completely off the cuff. There's no pre-planned words here, and I gotta make something up for all these cards based off the energy that I feel. So I ask that you be patient with me during that process. Let's go ahead and get started with your letter first. I don't know how well the camera will pick up on this, and I feel that if some of you would perhaps like a screenshot of these particular cards up close, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to take a screenshot for everyone and then perhaps post them on my Instagram in case if you want a more detailed view, because I don't know with my chicken scratches if the camera's going to pick them all the way up. But here is that letter for you for those that perhaps might want to screenshot. All right, let's begin. I know you feel it too. In the dead of night and through the cold of winter, in the warmth of the sun and under the silence of the moon, above the noise of the city and beneath the glow of the stars that guide us to one another. In the dead of night, I look solely for your light to shine. In the cold of winter, I shield myself from the frostbite of this bitter life with nothing but the thought of you. In the warmth of the sun, I do not dare to raise my hand to brow, to shield my eyes from all your brightness under the silence of the moon. I pray for you. Above the noise of the city, I scream out to you. Beneath the glow of the stars, I look for guidance on how to find you. You are the night that brings dreams to sleeping men. You are the winter for which I hunt and summon courage and prepare. You are the sun for which I rise and set. You are the moon that I, on bended knee, will always howl to. You are the city in which I learn and grow and play. You are the star that I pray never fades away. You are my everything. And one day I'll be yours too. It's so interesting to read it after I wrote it. A very, very beautiful letter. One of the common themes is how they see you in the everything, the sun, the moon, buildings, noise, light. They feel you in warmth. They use the thought of you to stay warm in the cold. It's something, there's an energy here that is just so all-encompassing. And I feel very much so that the love that they will bring to you will feel that way too. It will feel as necessary as food or water. I get this sense of the importance of it, something that's deeper than just a connection, something that very much is a required substance to life. and a required ingredient. Life wouldn't taste the same without you guys together. Let's see what we can get in regards to the cards for you. There's so much that I have endured, and I know that there is a lot that you have endured too. And when I think of all these things, I can't help but smile at the thought that there is nothing that I wouldn't endure for you. There's no journey that is too long to see you. There is no trouble that is too scary to overcome to be with you. I will endure this journey for you. I know that this is deeper than just some silly crush, deeper than a wish on a star. I feel you in the recesses of my mind, in the depths of my subconscious, and I know that there is something that is bigger than me that is drawing me to you. I know in the back of my mind, when I look at the high priestess, that you are the one that is behind the curtain. And one day I will pull that curtain down and I will see you. You are the only thing I see in this dark night. You are the apple of my eye. And even though I don't know you, I feel you so strongly that I already see you. I journey towards this pond, towards this place where we can both reflect. Like mirrors, like soulmates, our images on to one another. I know that I lead myself and you to a place of deep healing and to a place filled with flowing love. Here is the paradox. Here is the question that most would ask themselves with feelings like this, with images that run through the mind that we haven't yet figured out yet. Here is that crux between faith and realism. What is real and what isn't? And how could this thing feel so real even though I haven't seen it yet? That is the paradox that you and I find one another in. But we know that, like with most paradoxes, it's not something that you necessarily have to think your way through. In this particular case, we're both compelled to feel our way through. And it is those feelings that guide us like a compass to one another, to our final destination where we can be as one. Soulmates flying in from two separate directions, ready to shackle themselves to one another at the nape of their own necks if necessary. I see every time that I reflect on where it is that I am to be, I see myself and I see you coming together at the pond, coming together to mirror one another, to be perfect for one another, to be twin flames for one another. I know that this has already been written in the stars. All we have to do is open ourselves up to this love, to pull the cloak away from our chest, to expose the heart and the heart alone. This is not something that needs to be thought of. Even when the mind stops working, the heart continues feeling. And this is something that we feel in the depths of our chests a home that we have built for one another in this sacred heart space, even if we're oceans apart. You live here inside of my chest, and I live there inside of yours. I await the day that we crash into one another, that we float to one another dizzy because we know that we have finally met our match, that we have finally met our mirror, that we have finally met our equal. I can't wait for the moment that the Tweety birds surround our head, singing songs that we could have sworn we heard the whisper of years and years ago, leading us to one another. This is something that I welcome with open arms and with open cup. For a love and a new beginning that is overflowing with joy, with gratitude, with patience and kindness, with acceptance, and with every other thing that you can use to describe a love so deep that we know that we've lived through it together before. A love that was blessed by the divine, a cup that waits for us immovable in the future. A cup that will lead us to family, that will lead us to faith, that will have us both believing again in our purpose, in the future, and in this higher level of commitment. In family, I worship the days that lead me to you. I worship the feelings that lead me to you. I worship the whispers that sing me to you. Because I know that at the end of this journey, I will find my equal. I will find the person that I know that I've always been looking for. And when we both get to this place, when we've threaded ourselves through the eye of this needle, when we get to this final destination, we'll both raise a cup, each filled with each other's hearts, and we will celebrate the coming together of this beautiful and loving union. Let go. Release every single doubt that you have. Let it fly away. And harbor yourself instead, root yourself instead in the knowledge that I am already on my way. Let all doubt go. I'm on my way to you. I hope you'll keep the light on when I finally get home. Wow, that was really, really beautiful. I'm a little bit blown away, pile number one. Your pile made me so emotional. I get these tones of a lover that really recognizes that there's something deeper in the world, a higher presence that, you might call it destiny, you might call it fate, they might call it something else, just a deep inner knowing that there is somebody special that is made just for you, and they know that that person is you. And they're waiting for the moment that they can finally take all the steps that are required in order for them to get to a place where they can finally raise a glass with you. We have a lot of different energy here. I just wanted to point some of the suits out in the event that you are this sign or that your future spouse might be one of these signs as well. Obviously, we have water twice, actually 3 times here, with the King of Cups. the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups, that's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We also have Earth energy here with the Two of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And then Tauran energy here with the Hierophant, this card that represents faith and purpose and this higher level of commitment. I love that at the end here, the last card that you got was release, and I felt so many things with this card. Mostly, I got an image, believe it or not, of Icarus and this idea of flying too close to the sun. I feel like what your future spouse was trying to say here was this idea that the thought that a lover is in the future for you, it shouldn't feel like something that is flying too close to the sun, that is having visions of grandeur. This is something that has already been carved out for you. This is already a part of the story. And so there's no need to doubt that. Doubt is the only thing that gets in the way. And we need to release that doubt. We need to stand strong in the belief, in the faith, that this cup is out there for you. A very, very beautiful message. I'm going to take a second before I go into the next pile, and I want to really meditate on this deck, on this letter, and on the energies that I felt in your particular spread. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a song and then perhaps a bonus song, because I feel like there's so much that needs to be said here, okay? I'm going to put those both underneath or next to the timestamps for your particular pile, because I want you to listen to those songs every time that this doubt creeps in, or that you have a bad day. And to remember that that's the vibe, that's the frequency of your future spouse. And by listening to that song, by making the connection, oh yeah, this is a reminder that this person is coming and that I'm going to them. I feel like it will put you on the right frequency again. It might make your day better, right, at a minimum. But also I feel like it will put you in the frequency again of, oh yes, this is something that I'm not letting go of. I'm not going to doubt this coming, because I know that when I doubt it, then the blessings get blocked. So I would really love to know what you think of those songs, and what you think of this particular type of reading, of me just channeling the information like that. As always, I'm so grateful that you watched this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please stay posted on the channel, because as I had mentioned in the beginning, I'm going to be having one video every day this week about your future spouse. The following week will be a week dedicated solely to singles. And then I've got a massive week following that I think that is going to be very different than what a lot of people are doing on YouTube in regards to the tarot. Okay, so please consider liking this video if you liked it, sharing it with those that you think this might resonate with. It certainly helps the channel, and it helps the message get across to more people. I wish you so much luck with this beautiful love that is coming into your life. Stay tuned for a letter from your future spouse part 2. That will hopefully be on my channel soon if you guys are interested in me making a video like that. Hopefully I see you in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye. Alrighty, if you picked letter number 2, then this is the reading for you on an intimate love letter communicated to you from your future spouse, their thoughts and their emotions on their journey towards a union with you. As I had mentioned for pile number 1, I'm going to be doing things a little bit different. I have written a letter that I kind of channeled before the reading started, and I've also selected some oracle cards and some tarot cards for this particular reading for you. just to give us some additional details in regards to this message. As I said before, I'm channeling this very different. I'm trying to take the voice and the tone of the person that wrote this letter to you. And as a result of that, since this isn't pre-planned and I haven't looked at the cards that you've pulled for this particular letter, I ask that you be patient with me as I work through channeling the messages for each one of these cards. I'd like to start first, though, with the letter that I wrote for you. And I'm going to pull this up to the camera. I'm not sure how much you'll be able to make out with my chicken scratches and my what I had to do with very small writing to fit all of this on this card. But if you would like, if you want more detail, if you want this a little bit clearer, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to take a closer picture and post these on my Instagram for you, okay? Here is the letter for those that want to try to screenshot. Again, I'm not sure how much detail you'll be able to get, but I wanted to put the letter up for you nonetheless. And I'll start reading that letter for you now. Here we are again, you and I and you, we. Here we've come to this special place, a place that only you and I can know. A sacred space made solely for the love we have for one another. A sacred place made beautifully and perfectly imperfect by our connection. A chapel, no, a mausoleum by the sea, no, a shrine to our divine union. Yes, all of the above. Here is the place we have long waited for. Here is the time that we'd both hoped would surely come, where I with you and you with me could begin as our new selves on this new adventure, in this orgasmic, cosmic garden that our love had on its own created before we'd even realized we'd felt it. This blessed place, adorned of and approved by all the angels, where even gods look down in envy, where there is light and never darkness, where there is love, and that's enough. Because it is true, because it is crafted of our glue, because it is with you. This is the place that was made for us. This is the place we've created in our dreams, at night when we were far apart, now come to life so that you can be mine forever. If you're not ready, I'll keep the candles burning by the windowsill. If you're too scared, I'll soothe your nerves with hugs and kisses. If you're too weak, I'll carry you in my arms and heart forever. Take my hands. We'll push through chapel doors together. Every day, in every way, you and I and you. I love you. What a letter for you, pile number 2. Something so beautiful, and I can't help but to go back to the first line. It's so interesting to reread it. I love that it starts with "here we are again," as in this is something that you've done before. And this line that says "a mausoleum by the sea," it certainly gives me tones of Edgar Allan Poe, for those of you that understand that literary reference, okay? I'd like to jump into the cards here and see what additional messages your person has for you. I will build this house. We can build this house together. Every board, every nail, joined so that we can have this respite. a place to rest our heads after this long and weary journey to one another. I have long dreamed of the house that we would spend our future in, the house that you deserve, the home that we create together. Anywhere that you are, I am home. Anywhere that I am, you are home as well. I think often about sticking to this image, about sticking to this vision of home, about sticking to my hope for you forever. We can be bonded in this place, even if it has not been built yet in the physical, even if it's only been built so far in our minds and in our hearts and in our subconscious. This is a place that I have weaved and that you have weaved, that we have weaved psychically and spiritually together, a place that we want to be stuck in forever. I hope this place will ward away all of the prickly things of life, that it will heal every cut and every wound, and that it will make you feel like you have a safe place to rest your soul and to rest your heart from all of the sharp things in life that hurt and that cause us pain. This is the place that I want to make with you. I want to build this so that the roots, so that the foundation grows tall for years to come, so that even when we're gone, this visual representation of our life still grows. I want this home to house a family, so that our love can branch away into different directions with our children and our children's children. Something that isn't just the birth of our union, but the birth of the union of all of the people that we will bring into this world as a result of our connection. I want this love to feel like it is deeply rooted in the earth and like it will withstand the test of time. It's so easy to disregard this notion as untrue, to let the world fill you with doubt that this might never come. It's so easy to take all of our negative experiences and to let those things block us from the blessings that we have yet to create for ourselves in this world. But even in the darkest pits, in the deepest recesses of the most tragic losses, of the most insufferable experiences, I still find that I am glued to you, that the webs of our future union still lay in my hands, and that I still dream that we can birth this thing together, that we can create something beautiful and brilliant and bright and full of passion, something that will radiate through the world and that will infect those that see it and that will consume them with love as well. I want to be one of the people that can say that they've made it, and I want our love to be a representation that all things are possible. With this wand of passion, we will create a pillar, a threshold that we both will cross over, a threshold that I will carry you through, a beautiful home, a romantic union, a step into forever. One that is waiting for us here at this pillar in the future, where we will stand together as mirrors, as soulmates, as twins, where we will get married. The second that we cross that pillar, There is no limit to the magic that we can create, to the experiences that we can open ourselves up to. There is nothing beyond our grasp. And when you search your intuition, I think you know it just as well as I do. Don't be afraid to leap from your tower. Don't be afraid to jump in this direction. Don't be afraid to meet me at this chapel. And don't be afraid to dream about it as much as I have. This is the beginning of the journey, the belief that we will meet at this pillar and that we will create this magic. I want you to carry this light in you through the good days and the bad until we finally walk into union together. Leave all your troubles behind. They won't follow you for long. I will row this boat for the both of us until we can get to calmer waters, until we can bask in all of the beautiful emotions that await us in the future. I offer this cup to you. I reserve it solely for your use. I want you to use this cup of love in any way you want to, because it is yours. It has always been yours. I want to offer you this cup of love. Even if we're oceans away from one another, this cup of love still belongs to you. I want to give you house and home. I want to give you the stability that you've always wanted, that you've always craved, the type of stability that people build together, that is long-lasting, that endures time, and that can provide for our children in the future. I want this legacy with you. I will carry the weight. I will do whatever it takes. We've already began to build this story, even if it's just in our hearts, because we've known, just like we've always known, that we belong together. And we've already planted the seeds in our mind. It's just a matter of meeting and finally being able to reap what our souls have sown. When you're ready and when the time comes, I want you to jump towards me. I want you to leap towards this opportunity. And I want you to know that the universe rides along with us on this journey, blessing us every step of the way and making this union all the more possible. It does not matter how much distance I need to go. I will come to a place where I can bow at your throne and I can make you my empress. And I can shower you with the type of love that you and only you deserves. One filled with kisses and caresses, one that soothes and cares like a mother only could. I want you to be the mother of my children, because you are my mirror, you are my twin, you are my soulmate, and you are the only way that I can make it home. To this beautiful place where kids and dogs play in the yard, where we share and we build together forever. Wow, letter number 2. That was really, really beautiful. I want to go through some of these cards just in the event that you resonate with some of the signs that are here. We have Scorpio. You certainly could be this sign, or your future spouse could be this sign as well. We have Scorpio here with the Tower. We also have Virgo with the Hermit. Some air energy, water, Earth. We also have the Empress, which is Libran and Tauran, a little bit of fire with the Two of Wands, and a little bit more earth with the Ten of Pentacles. Let me go through the cards again, just in case if you want to write them down or know exactly which cards you pulled here. The Tower, the Hermit, the Six of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Fool card, the Empress, the Two of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. I wanted to include something extra in these particular readings, and those things were a song, at least one song, but perhaps a bonus song as well. And the reason why I'm including this is because I feel like I want to find a way to help to translate or to communicate the feeling that I got from this particular message to you in the rhythm or the melody that I feel like your future spouse is communicating to you with. And I find that it's nice to have something that perhaps you can't hold, but at least you can hear and hold in your spirit. For the days that you feel down in the dumps, or for the days where it feels like this might not come, to remind you, to take you back to the place of the frequency that you and this future lover are on. Something to take with you, to blast in your headphones when the Mondays or whatever has you down, and to always put you in the frequency of attracting this person into your life. So I will be sure to include those things for you in the description of the video, or excuse me, in the timestamps right next to your pile or underneath it. I will include links to whatever songs come to mind that you can listen to that I feel will resonate, their tone. I already know one of them because your letter, there's something very different about it, in that it very much feels more like an active invitation to somebody that might be hesitant because perhaps you've waited for a long time, and it's made it a little bit more difficult for you to believe in love, or for you to believe that this person is coming towards you. So I already know the first song, and I'm going to warn you right now, the first couple seconds are a little strange, but it has to be one of the most beautiful songs that I've ever heard about coming into a union. And when I tell you, you'll be able to feel the energy of this future partnership. I feel like I'm not over exaggerating. So please take a moment to listen to that song, at least the first one, and you'll get the same energy that I got from this particular reading. As I mentioned before, this is the first of 3 letters from your future spouse that I'll be doing. This is the invitation, this is the journey phase, excuse me. I'll also be making a follow-up at another time, not this week, but in the future. From the perspective of them actually courting you and you guys getting married. And then a third one down the line of your happily ever after, okay, from marriage and beyond. So I hope that you'll join me for that. I will also be posting a video every day this week on this channel about your future spouse. So if you like future spouse videos, then please consider subscribing and joining me on all the other days this week. I want to thank you so much for watching today, and hopefully I see you in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye. Alrighty, if you picked letter number 3, then this is the reading for you on a letter, a message channeled from your future spouse. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I wanted to do something different and something special for this particular reading. And what I've done is I've actually written a letter that I meditated on before the reading started. I didn't want to mention this before because I didn't want to influence your pile. But if you pick this pile, there's something special about your letter in that it was the only one that came to me in a bit of a sing-song tone, as in it rhymes a bit, which leads me to believe that there's something about this person that is coming into your world that is highly romantic. There's something very seductive about the words, and there's something quite beautiful about the expression, how it comes out like a song or it comes out as a poem. Again, I didn't want to influence you before, but if you pick this pile, then know that it is special in that way. I'm going to read that letter aloud to you, and then I'm also going to go into all the oracle cards and tarot cards that came out for the pile that you chose. As I stated before, I'm doing this very differently in that I'm trying to channel the voice of the person sending the message in the subsequent oracle cards and the tarot cards as well. So I always ask that people be patient with me as I kind of explore this new way of communicating a tarot reading, okay? Let's go ahead and get started with your letter. I don't know how much detail you'll be able to get, but I will raise this to the camera for those that are interested in screenshotting and trying to make sense of my chicken scratches here. If you want this card in greater clarity and greater detail, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to get a really good photo for you and post those for all the letters on my Instagram. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring that up and see if you can get any of that detail for those that like to screenshot things like this. Okay. All right. Tell me that you hear the chimes. Tell me that you see the shine. I need to rescue the divine. Is there a way to steal back time, to bring us back to most sublime? Haunted by the majesty of lover's light, haunted by the twinkling of your fading eyes, locked inside my treasury, planted in my memory, running towards this melody, doing everything it takes, remedying all my mistakes. You are siren song at sea. I come in lucid trance to thee. I float in gently like a breeze. The pavement carves and scrapes my knees. If you grant me this last chance, if you join me on this dance, nothing that we could not lance, traversing cosmical expanse, lighting up the darkest voids, burning bright like asteroids. So will you make storied exemption? Will you gift me this redemption? Will you settle with this debtor? Make my plea inside this letter. Ride these tides like skilled sailor. Stars abide brightly towards my Savior. Standing tall in this new skin, love washed off all of my sin, hoping I can mend these flaws, praying that you'll be my God. Well, that's a heavy one. It's so interesting to read these back after I kind of scribbled them down through the meditation. One thing that I will mention is This person that is coming into your life is working very hard on themselves at the moment. There's a lot about self-care here. There's a lot about second chances. This may even be somebody that you already know that might have screwed things up with you, and they're coming in for a second chance, because there's a lot of tones here about redemption. Now, that doesn't have to be the case. They could just be seeking redemption in their own life for their mistakes, okay? I know that I'm channeling them, because even there I'm I'm rhyming a little bit. As I said, it's just the way that it came out, okay? There's something so beautiful, though, about this idea that they hear you and they see you, and they want to rescue a divine union. They want to make sure that they don't miss their chance, because they've made some mistakes in their past. And now they want to be the man or the woman that is worthy of a love like yours. There's something quite beautiful in that. This last line is quite something. I'll read these two lines to you, actually. The first is, ride these tides like skilled savior. Stars guide brightly towards my savior. There's something about you that this person feels is holy redemption in some capacity. And then the last line here, hoping I can mend these flaws, praying that you'll be my God. Wow, talk about devotion and worship. There's something so beautiful about the fact that somebody would basically say, I am praying that I can worship at your throne, that I can worship at your feet. As I mentioned, pile number 3, you're in a little bit of trouble here, because this one is quite the charismatic, okay? Quite the little poet that you've got on your hands. Let's see what else we can channel through the oracle cards and the tarot cards, okay? Tell me where it is that you belong. Because when I rack my mind, my past, my present, and my future, I know that the only place that I belong is in your arms. I know that you are the only person that will ever make me feel so appreciated, so completely and wholly accepted. We belong together, and I know that. You are a little doll, and I have dreamt so much about holding you, about being a part of your life, so much so that the vision of you has turned you into a fixture in my mind, and it has haunted me. It has haunted me to the extent that I feel like I'm ready to blow. But I have learned from my life and from my experiences that I need to be patient, that not all things can be had the second that you want them. And I know that this love, this volcanic eruption of desire, of belonging, of acceptance, is one that is worth waiting for. And I cannot wait until we can erupt together. Love is such a funny word, because I feel even here with my heart on a platter and my arms opening them to you widely, opening up to this heart, letting you devour it. Like the word love doesn't do the connection that we have justice. It feels almost disrespectful to call what we will have together in the future love. That word is not enough. I will use every ounce of will and power within me. Every passionate moment I will spend fighting and working my way towards you, towards this light that I know that you hold in the future. This passionate light that will lead me to a place where we can not only embrace, but make love and make history. For now, I know that I need to work on me. I need to make myself a person that is deserving of your love. And every day I work against the tide, against everything in nature that would get in my way, that would hit me like a rock in the ocean, to be better, so that when I can present myself to you, I am my best, and I am not held back by all the mistakes that I have made in the past. I have to be worthy of you. I am pulling off my chains. I am lifting every sword, even if those swords just exist in my mind. I am letting go of the prison that I have kept myself in, and I am making my way towards you. Because if I am to be shackled to anything, if I am to be imprisoned in any place, that place would be your heart. That place would be with you. So I say goodbye to the past, and I move aggressively towards the future. I take control of myself as a person, and I do the work that it will take to be the person that you deserve. When I've worked to heal myself, when I've become this angel that's able to come and swoop down to heal you as well, and to balance our lives out together, that's when our union can take place. I ask that you be patient with me in this process, and know that in divine time, we will be together. Because the universe has already blessed this union. And it's only a matter of time now before we can speak our first passionate words of love to one another. Before we can start this new chapter of our lives. Tell me what your version of a fairy tale looks like. Tell me what home feels like. Tell me everything you've ever dreamed and everything you've ever wanted, and I will work to build that for you. I will build this beautiful home that you deserve, full of love, full of laughter, full of celebration and the giggles of little children, a home that we will grow old into, as is prescribed by our own fate and by our own destinies. A love, a union, a home, a family that will give us the maximum of happiness that is possible in this lifetime and the next. You are my wish. You are my star, and I work every day to cross this body of water, this obstacle of time and space, to be able to be with you. This is the conflict that I fight. This is the war that I'm waging right now. The war within myself to be better and to be with you, so that we can flow together, so that I can offer you this beautiful cup of love, so that we can heal in this deep and replenishing love. So tell me again, what story are we going to write today? What fairy tale are we going to make come true together? Gather your notes, because I'll be there soon, and then we can make this happen in the real world. Wow, pile number 3. That was pretty heavy. Like I said, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. There is something so all-encompassing, and there's so much passion here. Again, some nods here about working to be the best that they can be, and I can't help but to honor how mature that is. To not take your baggage to somebody else, and to clear that, to clear past karma, to clear the things that keep them shackled in their minds to old patterns and old ways of thinking, that might, if you met in this moment, right, sour your opportunity together. They want to be as perfect as they can be for you. And I think that is just such a nod to how deep this person has thought of this. So much so that the words come out like poetry, right? I love too that there is this like rhyming element, this idea of a poem, because there was 2 hints here about writing a fairy tale, and obviously our 4 of Wands, our card of 1111, of this beautiful divine destiny of twins, of soulmates, right? It certainly lends itself to that. The fact that that anybody would say, "What's your fairy tale? Write it down so that we could make it happen in the real world," I think is so brilliant and so beautiful. There's something very self-sacrificing about this person's energy. I will point out a couple things. First, we do have water here, so they could be a water sign, or you could be a water sign as well. We also have some water here, fire energy with the, water with the 9 of Cups, fire with the 4 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. We also have the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius with Temperance, air with the King of Swords, and with the 8 of Swords. Again, you could be one of those signs, or that could be one of the signs for your future spouse. Whew, I gotta take a breath after that. I was going to jump into another reading, but I'm gonna need to decompress after this reading. It's very powerful. I note too that there's 2 volcanoes that have shown up here. This volcano that was here, and the visual of a volcano here, which I think is quite something. Again, I feel like it's a nod to passionate eruption, but also to this like overflowing, all-consuming type of love, right? A love that is like so deep that it almost feels a little bit dangerous sometimes. Wow, talk about feeling alive with another person on this earth, right? I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm very curious to know what you thought about this reading. Before you go, I did want to mention that I am going to be placing a minimum of 1 song, but perhaps 2 if I feel really compelled, for your pile, next to your timestamps or underneath the timestamps for your pile. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want you to be able to take something away that you might not necessarily be able to touch, but you will be able to feel something that I feel conveys that tone of this lover, the message that they have for you here. And also something to listen to when you are feeling down and you need your spirits brought up again, being able to almost telepathically communicate through this experiencing of this song with this future lover, and also to set you on the same vibration as them, for those of you that are working to manifest this love so that you can draw them to you sooner, okay? Thank you so much again. As I said, I will be having a video every day this week on this channel about your future spouse. So if you like future spouse videos, I hope that you'll consider subscribing and that you'll consider joining me for the rest of the week as we get some more information about this beautiful person that is coming into your life. Alrighty, I'm going to leave you with all of that, all of this to think about, and hopefully I see you for tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.